Angel shards. Angels, as defined by Christian mythology, are not what you think they are. In fact, there's so much more to these celestial beings beyond a misunderstood biblical context. We can't fully comprehend what they are, but they do not serve a cookie-cutter version of God as commonly depicted. The same applies for countless other celestial beings. There's very limited bits of information out there due to us being incapable of truly comprehending these divine realms and beings because of the limit with our physical nature. These beings are beyond the physical. Angels work for the divine Godhead, which means that there's various different versions of them. Multitudes of divine beings and species of these various types of celestials with their respective heavenly realms are what compose fragments of a higher consciousness that holds a benevolent state and interaction within our universe. One of many God-type beings that exist in various universes as the structure that prevents collapse. The eternal framework, if you will. The ones you are most familiar with by the term angel are just a specific race that have a deep investment in the growth and development of human evolution. Angels have such massive celestial bodies that they cannot incarnate in a singular vessel when they choose to adopt a physical form for a duration of earthly experience. Instead of choosing one body, they end up using dozens. The higher the dimension they belong to, the more bodies they will need to occupy the physical with their consciousness. When one incarnates on Earth, it will split its essence inside of various humans born at the same time and usually in varying places in the world. This is called an angel shard. The person may or may not realize what they are and will often find themselves drawn to healing work or philanthropy. The consciousness is that of a normal human, and so is the way they live. Energetically speaking, they will be highly psychic and have wings that can be seen in the astral. There is a process of magnetic resuscitation. This means its collective shards will remain in one large soul family. The people sharing the same shards of one angel will meet and most likely forge lasting friendships with each other. They may possibly develop love bonds and learn from each other. The angel breaks down its task of helping humanity into many micro-tasks. Basically, this means each human will live their life doing good deeds. These collective good deeds are all funneled from the superconscious of the angel in its massive celestial body that is whole in the spiritual realms. The angelic entity is conscious on a higher level and aware of the lower levels individually, but on the individual lower levels it is not necessarily conscious. Angels do not appear as the Bible would describe. They can look intimidating and have black wings, which are used to cloak them in darkness. These are highly skilled spiritual warriors, infantrymen of the celestial realms. It makes sense if you think about the nature of black wings. A shining light in the dark is too much of an open target. They use them as a sort of camouflage. These wings let them hide and fight in darkness. It gives them a tactical advantage. Angels love to cuss and don't really understand humor the way we do. I have had some pretty entertaining, weird, uncomfortable, and surprising encounters with angels in my spiritual practices and magical work, along with involvement in cases I have done. I've even encountered rogue angels that had to have their wings clipped in a sense. They have their own independent thoughts and self-actualize. They are capable of going against the grain and can also be susceptible to corruption much the same as humans. Angels can be a bit callous and don't always show up when called, unless they actually want to or it suits them in some way. Angel possession is a very real thing too. It can be quite uncomfortable. They are of such a higher vibrational structure that when they enter a human, it's painful, pure electric bliss and agony. This was my experience, and overwhelming doesn't quite paint the picture in entirety. The pecking order for angels is an interesting thing as well. Ones that lose their job or are on the bottom of the totem pole are stuck on spirit guide duty, which is kind of similar to a cop being put on traffic duty. They may feel sexually attracted to humans and act on those feelings. There is so much to these beings that correlates with us and the structure of how we live, and yet we are still so vastly different.